POS Switch, Wallet, IO2, M2M, and many more. He is a part of government's working committee for smart cities in India. Due to his powerful analytical skills, mentoring ability, presentable personality, and problem-solving skills, Mr. Rajesh sir has built a customer-focused organization with a high level of customer acquisition, retention, and delight. He is a business savvy, confident, and dedicated leader with a track record of goal surpassing performance with an exceptional record of meeting timelines as well as expectations while contributing in cost optimization and bringing innovation with extreme passion to register inorganic growth and profit. Rajesh sir is a self-motivated, decisive, results-driven, and value-oriented leader who specializes in developing marketing strategies, product and alliance marketing, and demand generation with a proven record of building, nurturing, and leading high-performance goals along with improving
Yeah.
service standards. In short, he is a big picture thinker
Yes.
with experience in collaborating with cross-functional teams. Friends, apart from all these activities, many more are there. The list is huge with me, friends. But apart from this, he is actively involved and associated with several social causes and corporate social responsibilities. He is featuring regularly in national media and national news. So, in short, he has 25 plus years of work experience in highly dynamic IT industry. So, most of the professors are here, they might be knowing he is also a best sportsman and a firm believer of integrity, teamwork, and ethics. So, in short, I want to narrate in front of you a very good motto. He is having a very simple motto, but very good motto that he believes in to be a better person today than yesterday. So, list is huge, but this is a brief introduction of such a great personality, and it was a proud feeling for me to that I have got this opportunity to introduce such a personality. And on behalf of all of us, really we are proud of you and hats off, sir. Keep it up and be proud to be an TKITN. Thank you very much. So now I hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for wonderful, kind words. When it
Thank
comes
you.
from of a TKIT personnel, I mean, it is simply heartbreaking. Thank you so
Rajesh,
much. Yeah.
Rajesh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll take 2 minutes. I'll have a word with the students. So
Okay.
only
Yes,
within
yes,
two
yes.
minutes, I'll just complete the beginning of the sessions. So
Okay.
very good morning to one and all those are joined this very particular webinar. The objective and the title of the webinar is a talent acquisition. TKIT, Institute of an Elite, started with the visionary leadership of Honorable Sri Tata Saheb Kore and marching towards with a great passion in a 21st century to cater the quality technical education to our students. That is the only passion and the goal of our management, Honorable MLA, Dr. Sri Vinay Rauji Kore, who has been a source of our inspiration, and Honorable Dr. Vasanti Rasam Madam is always a guiding personality to a very big flagship of a TKIT who is having an alumni strength of 12,000. Rajesh is one of the top 10 distinguished alumni of the TKIT, and he has created a very, very different name in a digital payment. My dear participants, you know everything is going on SMS, and in a today's pandemic condition, everybody looks at the messages from the payment gateways and e-commerce. The technology which is behind all this network security is a technology in which our alumni, our brand ambassador, Honorable Sri Rajesh Desai is working across the globe. It is a proud privilege for TKIT to announce a webinar series on this auspicious occasion. And to this webinar series, this is the first webinar which is being organized for the purpose of the student and by the senior alumni student, Honorable Rajesh Desai. Without taking much more time, I give the best wishes to all the organizing committee, webinar committee for organizing such a beautiful kind of a webinar for our students. Those are the basic stakeholders, and we only work for our students. That is our motto. Thank you very much, Rajesh. Please go ahead with your big seminar today.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Patil sir, as well. It is indeed a pleasure to be on the platform, the platform where I laid the foundation of my dreams first. As a small boy, as a young boy, after my 12th standard, when I came to TKIT, I found it to be the perfect platform to build a dream, to set targets for myself in the professional life and to achieve those dreams. So I think I'm been extremely lucky to be a part of this TKIT. And I can tell all the students, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, who are a part of this webinar, that you indeed are lucky to be an absolute part of TKIT. I think you should make and leverage your best out of this institute. So when you go outside, you fly on your own. You fly on your own wings, And that's what this institute taught me. When I came there as a small boy and when I flew out, I had all the confidence which I had gathered in those 4 years of my professional life in that college, in that institute. So TKIT is not just an institute to me. It's an absolute emotion. It's an absolute heart-whelming technology and I think institute to me in my heart. Wherever I go and whenever I go, TKIT is always there on my chest, and my heart swells with pride when I speak to somebody about TKIT. So it's a wonderful place where I have lots and lots of memories. It has given me lots and lots of confidence. It has taught me how to face the world. In short, all the introduction given by Patil sir, Anekar sir, that is very, very small if I have to compare it with the fact that I'm an ultimate product of an institution called as TKIT. So for me, that holds priority and that is best for me in terms of my professional growth. It is that place which laid the foundation of my dreams, for dreams to come. And this is what I'm achieving at this point of time. So this is a perfect seminar for me, the first seminar conducted by TKIT on a web, which is a webinar. So I actually feel like Shah Rukh Khan of Bollywood, or maybe Virat Kohli of the Indian cricket team, to start and open the innings for TKIT on this webinar platform. Students, as you launch yourself in this open world beyond the college years, beyond TKIT, first, I would like to congratulate you for having a fantastic journey in this institution, for giving yourself a lovely part of your life in TKIT. So I would like to congratulate you that you have done a wonderful job by being a proud part and parcel of this organization. Please let yourself know that as you move, you need to step ahead in the future world. This is the perfect stage for improvisation for you as you step forward to build your dreams, as you look in the direction of building a perfect life for you. So live your life to the fullest and set yourself to a life beyond TKIT. Carry those credentials with you of TKIT and help those credentials, leverage on those credentials and help yourself to build a wonderful future for you. Remember, the education which you get in TKIT or education which you get in a college is not just education. It is actually a foundation of your dreams. It gives you a step forward to move with confidence towards your dreams. Remember that your attempt may fail as you move forward, but never ever fail to make that attempt. It's always said that prevention is better. It's better to prevent and prepare rather than repent and repair. This reminds me of a wonderful saying which says that ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. You might try, you might fail, no problems. But you need to try again. You'll fail, but this time when you fail better than the previous time. And as you move on in life, you keep on seeing the positive consequences of those failures, which lead to conversions of success as you move on in life. Now, this webinar is to do with talent acquisition. This webinar is to do with something which you need to gear up for post-COVID. You know, something beyond the coronavirus, something beyond the lockdown. Please make a note of only one word in this webinar. What is that one word which is extremely important in the current circumstances, in the current environment, and in the current life, the current professional life of each and everyone? And that word is digital. Let me repeat, DIGITAL, digital. Today, when a recruiter, when a company, anybody is looking to recruit somebody or to hire somebody, it is looking at somebody who is digitally literate, who is able to seamlessly integrate with digital creations, and who is able to drive innovations. So digitally literate, seamlessly integrate with digital innovations, and create digital creations and create digital innovations. If you carry these three arms or these three weapons with you, you are free to fight and win this digital world. You need to understand what are the changes happening outside. Why are the changes happening outside? And you need to tune yourself, adapt, adjust yourself to the external surroundings, to the external environment, so that you are in a position of strength to adapt, acquire, adjust, and face those challenges. What are those skills required? What is that skill set which is required by the outside external agencies, which will find you as an attractive talent in these times of uncertainty? You need to find that what and why is very important. Remember, you need to be like water. You know, water has got a lovely feature. Water can adjust and adapt itself to any situation and any shape. At the same time, it can flow in any direction the way it wants to. So you, in your life, in your professional life, you need to adjust like the water. You need to adjust like the situation and the shape of the water it can take, and you need to adjust and flow the way the water flows on its own. What is the company looking for? Companies, organizations at this point are looking for multi-talented organizations, multi-talented people, people who can do multitasking, people who can do multiple tasks at the same time. You might go there as a coder because you want to pursue coding as a profession. But remember, for that, you might need to know a bunch of languages. You might need to know a lot of other technologies besides coding, artificial intelligence, machine language. Maybe you need to learn them all, because it is very clear the world's life, professional life, narrowing down. It is looking at clearly multitasking and multi-talented people. The more you have, the better. Of course, people look at thorough knowledge. People look at thorough skill sets. People look at thorough skills. But you need to pick up new techniques. You need to be flexible, independent, and you need to be open and close discussions on their own. This is what clearly people are looking for. You need to be beyond just being a normal technical engineer. You need to be much more beyond that. Remember, where do you want to go? You want to grow the ladder, right? If you want to grow up the ladder fast, you need to contribute quickly. You need to contribute effectively. And that is why it demands that you learn your niche skill sets, but at the same time, you be a multi-talented personality and a multi-asset, multi-task personality. Remember, when you demonstrate your learning skills, what you're demonstrating is you're demonstrating curiosity. The person sitting in front of you may be the interviewer, maybe your superior, maybe your senior is able to see that demonstration which you are showing to him. He is able to see that you are able to pick up new techniques, and the curiosity is a proof of your intelligence. It's just going to help you as you move on. So students, my absolute advice to you is that besides what you're doing in college, learn from your teachers, learn from your professors, learn from your alumni. Try to understand what is artificial intelligence. Try to understand multiple algorithms of machine learning. Try to understand what is IoT, Internet of Things. Try to understand what is IOP, Internet of Payments. Try to understand automation, and the list is huge. But go beyond what you're doing. You know, once upon a time, a cloud was only there in the sky. But now, cloud is there everywhere. Every technology person is croaking of cloud technology. You need to understand what is cloud technology. So brush yourself, brace yourselves, and go and learn all these new skill sets which are coming in the industry. You will learn them from books, you will learn them from magazines, you will learn them from TKIT library, you will learn them from seniors, supervisors, alumni, you will learn them from the internet. Nothing is stoppable. Nobody is stopping you. It is you who's going to take the decision of leading yourself. You know, a negative thinker will always think about bad things. But a positive thinker or a negative thinker will always look at difficulties in opportunities. But a positive thinker will look at opportunities in difficulties. The choice is yours. You want to be a negative thinker, you want to be a positive thinker. You know, the bend on the road is not the end of the road unless if you refuse to take a turn. If there is a road and there is a bend on the end of that road, if you stop at that bend, that's the end of the road for you. But somebody might not think that bend has the end. He will proceed. The bend on the road is not the end of the road unless if you refuse to take a turn. So friends, my friends of TKIT, students of TKIT who aspire to make it big, who work on inspirations of others as their own aspirations, it is important that you remember this word called as digital. You know, digital media is running the show at this point of time in the outside world. Obviously, you need to showcase that. You need to showcase your internal strengths. You need to showcase your external strengths. You need to go there on LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. There are others as well which have come beyond that. You need to be a part and parcel everywhere. You need to be visible everywhere. You need to showcase yourself everywhere. So my theme is simple. In this world of digital, be digital. Fortunately for me, I learned a lot of digital in my years of college in TKIT. That has reaped benefits for me because my professional journey has been in the digital field. Patil sir mentioned, that I was a part of sports as well. But sports was also one part of my personality. Besides being into academics, besides being into sports, I was actively involved in co-curricular activities. It is with a lot of pride. I would love to see probably in Dr. Hanekar's cabin in that showcase of Sir, where there are lots of trophies of TKIT which we won for the first time in personality contests, in fashion shows, in technotron technical presentations. All those trophies are stacked there. And even now, when I go to my management institutes or when I go to give webinars or seminars to professional institutions, to organizations, I hold those trophies, those certificates very close to my heart. I wanted to do that as well. 25 years from now, when you're taking a webinar for those 25 ex-students, please feel proud. Please take pride in being a fact that you're a TKT alumni and being the fact that you are delivering to those set of students, to those leaders of tomorrow who are going to lead the nation from 25 years from now. So try and start building yourself. Try and start building your personality in such a way that is just beyond what you are doing at this point of time. Let me take a bit of time on what is COVID doing and what is coronavirus, how is coronavirus all affecting. Bad news, good news. Bad news is very small, fortunately for you. Good news is extremely high, is extremely big. Let me look at the bad news first so that we minimize that, we erase that, and we remove that. So we move to a very positive world. The market, the talent market, the industries, multiple industries are seeing a staggering growth because of the uncertain time this pandemic called as COVID, coronavirus, has brought to this dynamic professional world. 2 months back, everything was smooth. Everything was going fast. Digital was going at a rampant pace. But suddenly the world has turned upside down. Suddenly, massive countries with big health systems like France, UK, US, European nations who are the best health systems in the world are collapsing under this coronavirus. But the bright side of it, India, in spite of being or having such a huge population, one of the most populous countries in the world, they are still not that affected. They are fortunate that the government is giving space to breathe, not keeping economy on the priority. It is keeping us safe by keeping us safe at homes. But it is time to revive the economy as well. India has been growing at a staggering pace all these years. I know for me, I have traveled all over the world. I've traveled to 78 countries across the world, courtesy TKIIT. I've traveled across multiple cultures. I've seen multiple people. I've seen multiple traditions across the world. I've seen how they live, how they grow, how they nurture their children, and how and what quality of life they have, and the standard of living they maintain. India, phenomenally, fortunately, and for you as your generation, is reaching that level. I remember when I was abroad, probably I was in South Africa, Johannesburg, and I had written a small article. In those days, it was Hotmail and Yahoo only. And I had written an article then, which was published on the internet, because internet was quite new those days. And it said in 2025, India will be the #1 economy in the world. In 2018, India will be the top 3 economies in the world. And fortunately, India definitely is there at this point of time. India is there at the top. In my next dream, what it is, when I go to a foreign currency converter at any airport of the world, I want to see the Indian rupee besides the US dollar, besides the UK pound, besides the Japanese yen. I want to see the INR as well. And that's how I see India growing too. And fortunately for you as a generation, you are one generation or maybe 2 generations beyond me. You're lucky to be in that space where the value of 100 rupees at my time is the value of 1,000 rupees at your time. So you guys extremely lucky. But just being lucky is not enough. You need to put dedication. You need to put hard work. It is simply impossible to beat a person who is hardworking. Remember that honeybee is such a small bee which flies all over. But to collect 500 grams of honey, it has to go to 2 million flowers, 20 lakh flowers. So only when it jumps to 20 lakh flowers, it's only able to collect 500 grams of honey. Imagine the hard work the honeybee has done. Our hard work is nothing and is going to be nothing in front of that honeybee. So be that honeybee. Let that honeybee in you, because one day that hard work besides your skill sets is going to help you in your professional life. How is the market? How is the hiring at this point of time in the post-COVID stages? The traditional human resource is struggling. companies, organizations, some companies like the tourism, travel industry collapsing. They have stopped recruiting, jobs, layoff, cutting down people, closing branches, closing offices. That is the new norm which is happening to this company. But remember, fortunately for us, we come from a technology background. And technology today is the foundation of every organization. Be it the e-commerce, be it the e-service, be it logistics, it is flourishing. You have a wonderful opportunity there, even during the post-COVID, post-lockdown stage. In fact, these companies are hiring, these companies are retaining, these companies are expanding. Look at Amazon. Amazon has announced that it is going to expand its team of people. It is going to hire 25% more people than its current resource strength. Amazon is expanding. So are the other companies expanding. Opportunity is there for you. It is there. How you take the opportunity. What is that the companies are doing separately? What is that the companies are doing differently now? Companies know it is difficult to do a face-to-face interview. Companies realize post-COVID, it is not going to be easy to meet candidates in their office. It is not going to be easy for the candidates to travel to office. It is not going to be easy for the interviewers to be in office. So what is the option left? The option left is online. All the organizations are building themselves to have a virtual recruiting process in place. They are changing their current processes to build a strong, a dynamic virtual recruiting process in place. They are trying to build, or rather they are own building, or they are rather putting in a lot of digital words, digital mechanisms in place to make this onboarding virtual and seamless and easy for them, as well as for the interviewers and the employees and the employers. The talent demand might be falling, but the saving grace is multitasking. The saving grace, again, is multi-personality. Multitasking, multi-personality, multi-asset is what they are looking at. You need to be one of them. You need to be proactive. You need to understand expectations. You need to be effective in your communication. You need to be absolutely dependent. You need to be independent, and you need to be absolutely flexible. Remember, F2F or face-to-face is probably going to be a old norm. It's probably going to be a old part of old life. You need to gear yourself for digital recruitment, because the reliance on digital everywhere is extremely heavy. Organizations have slowly realized that digital recruitment is simple, is fast, is very innovative. Believe me, it's a boon in disguise for you, because for the HR manager, for the hiring manager, for the recruiter, for the company, getting you now at your home to take an interview is very easy, because you're not traveling. Right side for you is the key decision maker, like the CEO, the MD, the HR director, or the technical director or the technical hiring manager is available at his home, because he also is traveling, which means that you have an excellent opportunity at this time of post-COVID. You need to bank on this opportunity. Try to understand Skype, try to understand the Hangout, try to understand Zoom, WebEx, remember all the names. What companies and organizations are looking for is remote totality. They are looking at complete remote onboarding, recruiting, everything. For us, even in these times of dire uncertainty, we are hiring. we are taking people on board. We have made a very seamless onboarding mechanism whereby a person, a new person or a new employee, it becomes much easier for him to be onboarded to a new organization. So you also need to be geared from your side. Fortunately, you are in the technical sector. KIT gives you that strength of being an electronics or telecommunication engineer, maybe a mechanical engineer, maybe a civil engineer, maybe a computer science engineer, maybe an engineer of all sorts. It's your time to fly. Because what matters now is you need to have a background of technology. So technology sector is the sector which can probably make that vital difference to you in your profession life. In fact, if you ask me, I interviewed a lot of people who were selected, people who were not selected as well. Take a feedback on the online mechanism which was being followed at this point of time. Candidates was very happy, and they said that it made life much easier for them because they were also easily available, and the people who were taking the interviews were also easily available. So fortunately, I would say COVID, lockdown, in a disguise, has come to us as a boon. It's on us to take advantage of the situation. It's on you. Have you basically help yourselves to bloom in the situation? You know, you need to consider yourself as a tree. It eventually depends on you whether you consider yourself as a flower or as a seed. You know, a tree basically makes flowers almost every day, but it is not worried about the flowers which are falling, because the falling flowers are dying. The tree is busy making other flowers blossom. You need to be that tree to ensure that you forget the past of your life. You need to ensure that you move ahead and move those and make those new flowers blossom. Attitude is what matters. You know, when you talk of attitude, no work is too much and no task is too low. No work and no task. If you have this attitude of with you, no work of being high and no task of being too low, this attitude is going to take you very, very far. You know, the future is basically waiting for you there. No, it is not waiting for you there actually. It is waiting for you to create the future for you. Fear of losing can be your biggest enemy. Remove that fear from the block of your minds. Remove the fear which is cropping in your minds and fly like that open bird with its wings. You know, a bird sitting on a tree is never worried that the branch of that tree which it is sitting will break, because it does not trust that branch. What it trusts its own wings. It trusts in its own self. You need to trust on your own self. You need to believe on your own self. You need to be bird who will trust on its own. Friends, let me give you some tips to help you attend and be a part of online interviews. Let me take you to the traditional interviews first. Let me take you to the interviews where we interview lots and lots of people on the traditional mode pre-COVID, before the COVID. Simple format. People used to upload their resumes. People used to be hired from recruitment agencies. People used to be called for face-to-face interviews. People used to come and give tests, then probably go to the next filtering level or being interviewed by different people by having face-to-face. All this has changed. All this needs to change. But as I said, onboarding has to be there in place. Onboarding, interviews, virtual onboarding, virtual recruiting has to be there in place. Before you sit for an online interview, before you sit for a virtual interview, ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions in such a way to ensure that when you do the interview, your interviews are not at a discomfort level. Remember, they have 30 minutes to give you, 45 minutes to give you. Those 45 minutes can make a vital difference to you and your life, professional life. 45 minutes are extremely 45 minutes for the person who's interviewing you. So give all those 45 minutes to them. Give all those maximum 45 minutes to them. Don't let anything get wasted. Before you start the interview, check whether it's a telephone call. Check whether it's a video call. Check whether it's a soft call. You need to check all your tech pieces, your hardware, your software, your internet connectivity, your apps. Is everything in place or not? Ask yourself questions. Keep on asking your questions. Have I left something? Am I missing something before the interview happens? Because you don't want a situation where you start something and it never ever happens. Remember, those 45 minutes of interview can be a game changer for you in your life. Believe me, that changed. For me, that definitely changed my life. I have ensured in my earlier life that when somebody is there at the opposite side of the table, I will be there 20 minutes before him, prepare myself and ensure that he gets the best 45 quality minutes which he is looking for. When you give an interview, look at your body language. Sit tight, sit upright, look eye to eye. When you were having a face-to-face, when you're having shake-to-shake hands or you were having a handshake, that handshake was giving or was demonstrating the confidence you are having in yourselves. At the end of an interview, when I shake hands with the interviewer, it is not to say goodbye to him. It is to see the amount of confidence that that person has had after giving that interview. That's an important personality trait which you need to culture. Fortunately, in the online virtual digital world, where there is reliance on digital, the handshaking part is lost. What is that sense in you which is there is eye-to-eye contact. Never ever lose your eye-to-eye contact. Remember, you want to stand out in that crowd. You want to be in those multiple people standing out differently from the rest of the crowd. The disadvantage here is you're not meeting face to face. The interviewer is not able to see you face to face and to see your other personality traits. This can be your advantage. Of course, this disadvantage for you is the fact that you're not able to ask him a lot of questions you would have loved to get an insight of the organization. But that should not stop you now from asking him or her the way the organization has handled this crisis. Ask that question to him. Ask that question to her. It will give a lot of confidence to you and a lot of confidence to the person who's taking the interview or asking the questions to you. Look at the flip side of it. As I said, you need to be a positive thinker and not a negative thinker. Who would have expected that Indian companies would expand and flourish at this time of uncertainty? Who would have expected that companies from China would be coming to India? No, it is not possible. China, at this point of time, globally has got multiple business associations and tasks with more than 100 countries across the world. But because of the problems it is supposedly happening in the ground right now, all those companies want to pull themselves out of China. India is a potential breeding ground for those companies to come to India. We have a fantastic opportunity. Look at Apple. Apple has announced that it wants to start 1/5 or 20% of its production capability or capacity and move that from China to India. As I said, absolute boon in disguise. Be a positive thinker here. You would have never got Apple coming to India against China if this COVID would have not happened. It's a platter in disguise. For you guys, it's an absolute opportunity. If I would have been there in your age, if I would have been probably passing out of college, I would have ensured that I would have gone and knocked on the doors of the Apple because it would have given an opportunity to me. Apple is just one organization. There are many more coming from China to India. There are many more American companies, European companies coming to India. A German footwear company, Vaughn, has already come to India and trying to set up its plant in Agra, in Uttar Pradesh. It has been heard and it has been told that more than 1,000 companies all over the globe, especially America and especially Europe, are speaking to the government of India to set up their production capacities and production set houses in India. It's also been said that India is building a pool of land to set up these companies in India. And maybe probably the pool of land is even the double or even twice the size of Luxembourg. Guys, absolutely lucky guys, absolutely opportunity waiting for you as the years go by. Apple is one who's coming. Knox already come in. You have Abbott speaking to India. You have Johnson & Johnson speaking to India. You have many other countries. You have Teledyne speaking to India. And you have multiple countries, small organizations, medium organizations, many organizations who are coming to India. So you have an advantage over your previous batches. You have an advantage over others. So you absolutely need to stand out and take advantage and leverage on this situation. I was talking our company is basically a French company, a French organization. It operates all over Europe, Americas and all, So even the American companies and the French companies are trying to set up a lot of base in India. The French consulate has spoken to me of seeing how easy it is in India to work, how to set up companies in India, how to set up organizations in India. Itself is a green signal for all of us that yes, things are in the right hands, things are good for all of us. But you need to put your perspective. You need to be straight and you need to be sure at what you're going to do. If your mind is like a parachute, it needs to open up. So you need to open your mind like a parachute which is opening. Fortunately, you are in the technology sector and you need to take yes. So give your life the best, the best, and try to see what you can define or how attitude in your life can define yourself and bring the best out of you. You need to be stronger. You need to be stronger than your strongest excuse. If you are stronger than your strongest excuse, you are very fast. It's on you that if you fail, whether you want to rest or whether you want to quit. If you want to rest, that's the end of the road for you. Sorry, if you want to quit, that's the end of the road for you. If you want to rest, you have some breathing space for you to come back and be that seed which falls from a tree, but yet germinates back into a plant. Do you want to be a leaf which falls down and dies? Or do you want to be that seed which falls down and germinates back to a seed? The choice is yours. My suggestion, my recommendation to you is do not quit. Rest, come back. Rest, try back. As I told you in the initial part of the webinar, ever tried, ever failed. Try again, fail again. Next time, you'll fail better. Fail again, fail better. That's something which you need to carry with you. Because winners never quit and quitters never win. Boys and girls, this is an absolute choice for you in your professional life. You want to be a winner or you want to be a quitter. The choice is yours. I decided to be a winner. I tried everything in my life. I ensured that whatever I got from TKIIT, whatever confidence TKIIT gave me in my professional life, I flourished on that. It is on you again. Fortunately for you, TKIIT is an excellent institution with 30 plus years of background. Wherever I go, wherever I speak, where do you come from? I say TKIIT. And with a lot of pride, I say that, 30 years of experience is a wealth of experience amongst your faculty, amongst the principal, amongst your college, and amongst your students. You have, as Dr. Anekar said, you have an alumni of 12,000 students behind your belt. You have a fantastic alumni cell. You have Professor Bagane, who's energetic all the time, giving a lot of energy into alumni cell. You have him, you have the blessings of Dr. Anekar sir, with that vibrance coming in from the training and placement cell as well from Mr. Patil, So you have this vibrancy there, you have this energy there, you have this experience there, you have this excellence there. You need to read. I'm an alumni of this organization, and it makes me feel proud to see all the other alumni shining and rising all over the globe. Ask me any country, they are everywhere. They are everywhere in the world, everywhere in the globe. Their stepping stone has been TKIT. Your stepping stone is also going to be TKIT. Only that you need to flow the culture of vibrancy of the training and placement cell, the energy it runs from the alumni cell. Be in touch with the alumni cell. Be in touch with what the alumni cell is doing. Be in touch with the training and placement cell. More importantly, be in touch with your principal. More importantly, be in touch with your teachers. There's one wonderful saying which comes to my mind. It's like it's about a fish. It teach me how to fish. Give me a fish. Sorry, let me come back. Give me a fish. I eat it for that day. Give me a fish. I eat it for that day. Teach me how to fish. I eat it every day. Teach me how to fish. I eat it every day. If you want to eat every day, if you want to flourish every day, think beyond your past. Think what has happened to you. No matter where you come from, no matter what your background is, no matter what hell you have gone through, no matter what has happened in your life, the future is there for your beginning. You are going to step yourself in a new chapter, which is a chapter which is only yours and only yours for the making, because that chapter is the chapter which you are going to define and going to make and going to create on your own. Boys and girls, I would like to stop myself here, but say and tell you that this future is there for you, waiting for you. Go create it. Thank you so much. Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There are
Thank you very much, sir.
From the student side, you have to wait. In the chat box, please see the questions.
Okay. Yeah, I can see a lot of thanks coming in. From Rohan says, thank you, sir. Rohan Saudule. So which course is, Adesh Patade, which course is demanding in digital world?
Up to 4 times. Yeah.
Which course is demanding? As I said, correct. As I said, in the digital world, you have everything embracing digital. Manufacturing, digital. Recruitment and HR, digital. Payments, digital. Now look at Internet of Things to come, is digital. Look at Internet of Payments to come, digital. Nowadays, people are not going and giving cash. Cash is slowly becoming an outdated part of a channel payment instrument. What's happening is the digital payment card, which is your virtual money in your pocket. The younger generation is buying a lot of things, purchasing a lot of things, be it books, be it apples, be it grocery, be it anything from the internet. Digital is playing an important part of that. If you want to do a course in that, I would suggest you look at artificial intelligence. You look at machine learning. Even in recruitment now, artificial intelligence is imbibed by a lot of companies who want to find a perfect match between their skill requirements and between the candidate's proficiency. And artificial intelligence helps them to reduce time to find the right match in this artificial intelligence world. The machine language algorithm optimizes and gives them the best output. So if your question is to do a course in digital on artificial intelligence. Do of course something on machine learning. Obviously, whatever you do, you can do to your excellence, But this is something which is the name of the day today. Internet of Things, Internet of Payments, smart cities, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Yeah. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you, Ritesh. Any further questions you want to ask, students? Feel free. According to you, what is the major gap between education and industrial organization? Quite a good question. So the question, let me repeat, is what is the gap or what is the major gap between education and between industrial revolution? If you ask me the question, I don't see what you taught in college or what you teach in college. Somewhere or the other, in the world, it is going to help you. It is not necessarily need to know the content of what has been in college. If you are able to convert the content into your proficiency in the professional world, you'll be able to excel. So in college, we have got 10 different subjects. When you excel out, when you move out in the industrial world, you probably are looking at only one subject to be an expert on. But as I said earlier, you need to be a multitasking individual. You need to be a multi-asset individual. You need to be a multi-personality individual. Even if you are doing one subject, out of the 10 subjects in your college, some subjects are going to help you as you move ahead. So you might feel that you have a gap in the initial years of college. But my experience has taught me, no, the gap is not there. It's on you to see. It's going to make a difference for you to see. Look at it positively, bridge the gap and walk on that bridge and you will reach your destination. That should be my response to you. Any other questions? So please give me book's name about facts and information on business. Pawan Sawant. There are lots of books, There are lots of books which are available in the market. TKIT itself is a wonderful dictionary of books. I used to read a lot from those books in TKIT, engineering, non-engineering. There are external agencies also. There are books available on the internet, books available in external libraries as well. It's your choice of what you want to read. There is no end to reading. What is available on books nowadays is available on the internet also. Pick up a subject, pick up a topic, go to the internet, you get everything there. During my days, it was not there. During my days, internet was not there. So I used to read books of Philip Kotler, who was in marketing. I used to read books of Peter Drucker, the American guy who was into marketing, sales, technology. I used to read books of technology guys besides the engineering books. If you want to really read books, go on the internet, pick up a subject, pick up a topic, you'll find the relevant content and the relevant topic there for you to learn. It's on you how you want to proficient yourself. How do we get such course like artificial intelligence and machine learning? Okay, Adesh, I answered you earlier. Thanks for your second question, Adesh. So many, even in your content course in college, you will have something which will be covering AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning. You also have something covering IoT as well, Internet of Things. You might have something covering smart cities. When I was there for a reunion about a year or 2 years back, the students actually asked me this question about the Internet of Things and smart city. So I'm sure you as people, as students, are very strong in this knowledge or have a strong knowledge and a power base in this particular subject, So you can learn this from college and you can learn this from books also. Even if you go to internet, you can get a lot of online courses. Many institutions, Indian, international, are creating or giving a lot of courses on online courses on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Many institutes in India, which are recognized, as well as private institutes, are doing the training. I think you should get in touch with your training cell, training and placement cell. I think they should be able to guide you where you can get it productively and effectively in terms of, artificial intelligence in terms of courses. If not, you can always reach out to me separately, and I'll be more than happy to help you wherever it needs to be helped. No problem. How government is going to support new companies? Those who want to. Okay, so S. Desai. So somebody who shares a surname with me has put a question that how is the government of India going to new plans being put up in India? I have answered the question partly in the webinar. As I said, there are two types of companies. The companies which are inbuilt in India, the small sectors, the small sectors, the SMEs and all. So these sectors are already given a boost by the government. If you look at the directives of the finance minister last week, they already given a boost in terms of financial benefits for these organizations who are having a difficult time in this uncertainty, who are having a staggering time in this COVID pandemic situation. So the government of India has already given them financial benefits, has already given them a lot of boosts, has already given them a lot of booster also in terms of starting and reviving the industries. It has tweaked a lot of labor laws also to ensure that the companies are and the labors also being helped. Also the fact that I said China, companies coming from China to India, companies of America origin, companies of European origin coming to India. India is building a land pool quite the size of Luxembourg in India to put up these production plants in India. The foreign FDI, the foreign direct investment capital policy in India also, they are tweaked to make foreign countries or foreign companies do business in India easily. It is not so easy for a foreign company to do business in India, but the Indian has tweaked policies in India to help companies flourish in India, so that the rate of employment and the chances of opportunities of employment for young people like you are in abundance. So the government has gone a lot ahead in building its own companies in India and also helping foreign countries help to come and do business easily and seamlessly in India, which is a business benefit or which is the benefit for you in your professional life. Sarthak asked me, sir, what is the situation of the industry after COVID and which sectors are taking time? Is that a question? So, as I said, it depends on you, Sarthvik, if you want to look at it positively, negatively. Of course, the travel industry, tourism industry, many industries have been have collapsed, are collapsing. There have been a lot of job cuts. People have been, but at the same time, other industries are flourishing. Online is flourishing. Online e-servicing, logistics, e-logistics are flourishing. There's a opportunity created there. E-commerce companies, e-tailing companies are recruiting. E-companies are retaining people, are taking in new people. In fact, these companies are also looking at people who have been let off their jobs from the travel and the tourism industry. So there's a dearth of requirement in the industry at this point of time. As we come towards the lockdown end, as we come towards a situation where things will become normal after the COVID, the hiring will become more rampant and the recruitment will become more faster and it will grow at a speedier pace than now. But don't wait for it. You need to start now. If you wait for it to happen, you might just lose the bus. If you want to catch the bus, if you want to be in that running bus, you need to start now. Don't wait for the pandemic to be over. That's my suggestion. Amrut asked me, what primary readiness does the candidates need to do in this pandemic? Amrut, as I said, you need to build yourself to be ready for virtual interviews, online interviews. Start with the things first. Start with your tech in place whereby you are able to give seamless interviews. Identify a spot which is noiseless. Put in the right type of dress giving interviews. Be clear in your communication. If you're not proficient in your language, use this time to build your language proficiency. Use this time to enhance your skills, to enhance your skill sets. Build deeper connections. Go on LinkedIn, go on professional social websites, take the help of our alumni organization, speak to principal search, speak to our search, build a deep root with our alumni, build a deep root with our education system, and build a deep root with our teachers. Help yourself to help you with this time. If you go to sleep, tomorrow will be a day lost. Yesterday is already a day lost. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do today's activity yesterday if you want to catch that running bus. Very, very important to be an extremely positive thinker. Life is like a boxing game. Life is like a boxing game. Defeat is not announced when you fall. Defeat is announced when you refuse to get up. Again, the choice is yours. In the boxing ring, do you want to fall down and lay down, or do you want to get up and fight again? Utilize time is my suggestion to you. And box in the boxing ring with a lot of confidence. My second suggestion to you. How digital transformation is affecting automotive industry is a question by Prashant. A lot. Automotive industry, unfortunately, at this point of time, is an industry which has been a bit hit, but it is not wasting its time. Automotive industry is looking at the future. It wants to reap benefits of these 2 months of lockdown. What is it doing? Germany is an automobile country. France is also a big automobile country. Many countries where automobiles are there, manufactured. For third, India are doing a lot of things in automobiles. They're putting a lot of digital transformation in the automobile sector. Fleet management, car tracking through GPS is happening on digital vehicles, is happening on vehicles. An exemplary case of a fleet tracking mechanism which is happening through digital in our organization. Wonderful example. There was a company which was dealing in oil. It was distributing oil from the oil petrol stations to different oil units. What was happening is the trucks were filling oil and going and putting oil in the petrol stations. But they were taking 1,000 liters of oil, but they were feeding 900 liters of oil there. What was happening to the 100 liters of oil? What was happening is in every visit, they were losing 100 liters of oil, meaning a lot of revenue was lost, lot of profit was lost. What did they do to overcome the situation? They used digital technology. They put all the vehicles on GPS mode. They put a SIM in a particular machine on an Internet of Things device, IoT device. Put that device with their GPS SIM in that truck. Every time the truck was leaving the distributing vehicle and reaching the petrol pump, it could track the vehicle. What it realized is after leaving the distributor, the truck was stopping at a point and was removing the oil. And that is where 100 liters of oil was being wasted. They tracked this immediately to digital technology, implemented this in place. Every truck, every ride is able to save a lot of money. Automotive is also doing a lot of digital innovations in this digital automotive world. Yeah, Prasanna, thanks for that response. Okay, so the question was, how do we minimize the gap between students passing out and already available talent? You are passing out now, or you might pass out in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There are already a lot of people waiting there to join the best and the best of organizations. They might have some experience. They might have not some experience. Do you feel you're inferior? Is the question. If you feel inferior, if you're feeling that you're behind the crowd, you're making a big mistake. As I said, people are looking at multitasking individuals. People who are more curious, people are looking at them because it is demonstrating that these people are the superior intelligence and have the curiosity and have the yearning to learn. So never stop that from happening with you. You will not be behind the race. You might just lead the race. Gone are those days where organizations are looking purely for experience. No, people are not just looking for experience. People are looking for exuberance. People are looking for energy, and people are looking for brilliance. If somebody in an organization, a 10-year guy and a 2-year guy experience, I will not look at the experience. That's the last priority I will look at. As I said, I will look for energy. I look for exuberance. I look for brilliance, because I know this new guy is coming with lots and lots of new ideas, lots of new energy, which can help my organization to grow. So go with that energy and tackle the outside world, is what I can say. Don't fail that out. Thank you, Amrut. Aditi asks me, how much and in what sense is it important to do MBA after engineering? MBA is basically Master of Business Administration. Engineering is Bachelor of Engineering. MBA is just one extension in terms of post-graduation after a graduation. You're not bound to do MBA. You can do lots of other faculties, you can do lots of other post-graduation streams. You can do ME, you can do MSc, you can do MBA, you can do lots and lots of things. It's on you. I prefer to take MBA. I prefer to take Master of Business Administration, because I thought my skill sets, my proficiency would help me, and my personality probably would help me to acquire these credentials and help me with those credentials to set up a foot further in the industry. Remember, it is not just an MBA which helps one to grow ahead. No, it just probably helps you to step a foot forward. It just helps you to get an entry. But you're not measured by your resume. You're not measured by your certificates. You're not measured by your qualification. You're measured and evaluated by your performance. Remember, in organizations, performance is what matters, not what your background is, not what your qualification is. It will help you to get inside. 3 months, 6 months, not beyond 6 months. After 6 months, what counts is your performance. If you have the confidence to do that, your qualification of being an MBA, your qualification of having anything becomes secondary. Primary is your hard effect. So be that hard effect, that hard work. So be that bumblebee I spoke of. Be that hard worker. Because if you're hardworking, it will be complemented to your skill sets. Nobody will be able to defeat you. Nobody will be able to beat you. I hope it's answered. Thank you, Aditi. Okay, one question asked me, which MBA course is best for engineers? And somebody asked, please give me a thought to startups. Okay, sir, Anikar sir and Patil sir, you need to tell me when to stop in case your timing is coming to an end. Anyway, I'll take these questions, but you can tell me you might have a time slot.
You can continue for another 4 or 5 questions till you feel like answering the question.
Okay, fine, good enough. So the first,
you decided concluding time.
Right, sir. Okay. So the first question for startups, I think. What is that?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Mane sir, please.
I am Dr. Mane, DN speaking from Department of Applied Sciences.
Yeah, good
I would like
afternoon,
to
Dr. Noy.
ask
How are
you.
you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. Sir, your session is very good, and I would like to ask one question.
Thank you, sir. Yes, please go ahead.
You let me explain the difference between Gurukul education system and digital education system. Which one is more effective nowadays?
You know, in my house,
Yeah. I'm in house.
in my house,
Yes.
I'm a father and I'm a wife, right? My mother and my father are from the previous generation. My wife and my children are from the next generation. My father and mother are my pillar of strength. And my son and my daughter and my wife, which is the next generation, are my source of love and source of inspiration. You know, when I ask about Gurukul and digital, I would compare Gurukul education with my parents. They are the ones who gave me their upbringing. They are the ones who gave me the roots. And if you ask me to compare my children and my wife, they are to do with digital education. In our lives of today, it is important to create a balance and to maintain a balance between education, between digital education. Both play a very important part of our life. Professional life cannot flourish unless you have the personal life right place. Even when you have an interview happening, you need to be right balance. You need right mental state. So as I said, my Gurukul education is my parents, and I hold it to my heart. My digital education is my children, my life. I hold it to my heart. So I would say for everybody, you need to maintain a balance between both. Only when you meet this balance, you have a freedom to grow ahead in your life.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Right, sir. Okay, somebody asked me a question. Which
Startup.
Okay, startup. Yeah. So there's a question on startup, and if somebody can send the question again, but I think the question was to do more with startups in India. Okay, so great. So when so as in, and I'll answer it from two points. One is you being part of a startup, you working as a part of a startup. Or I'll explain me after 10 years or 12 years of a startup. Remember, startups come with a lot of idea. Startups come.
Sir, please unmute your mic.
Ajay sir, please unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, I missed it. Okay. So basically, startups. So if you when you talk of startups, India is predominantly a startup country. Philippines is a startup country. Indonesia is a startup country. Why do startups start in India? Because you have the brains in India. You have the language proficiency in India. A lot of aspirations in India. Fortunately, you have a lot of money from investors for this nurturing of incubation of startups in India. So we are lucky that people want to invest in startups. Startups come with a lot of ideas, innovations. But unless you are able to convert these ideas and innovations into execution perfectly, you're not able to survive that or 2 years. You're not able to justify to your investor beyond a year because the investor is investing money. If it does not see the returns of that investment, it becomes a dead asset or a dead investment from him. Remember, only 12% of the startups which started in India in the year 2005. So 2007, it's about 12 to 13 years from now. 12 years, 12% are surviving. 88% collapsed. Out of 12%, 7% are flourishing and thriving. 5% are just on the edge of the fence and are just managing and surviving. When you do a startup or when you get into a startup, ask yourself whether you are doing the right thing. If you are doing the right thing, step into it. If you step into it, do it correctly. And if you do it correctly, put your 100% sweat into it. When I started this organization in India in the year 2007, 13 years from now, I traveled all over the world. I was working outside India. I was having a beautiful bungalow. I was having best of best cars. I was driving a Mercedes then. I was driving a Land Rover then. I had the best of assets in the outside world. Standard of living, quality of life was excellent. But my roots were always there for India. I always wanted to do something different. No, I always wanted to do something for my country. And that's what I always wanted to be close to my parents. And that's what brought me back to my India. I left all those beautiful things back in that country and I came back to India completely zero, completely afresh, with a dream in mind, with an ambition in mind, with a confidence which I had over those years of college and those years after college. And I started this organization. I started as a one-man army then, looking at maybe finance, maybe looking at technology, maybe looking at human resource, maybe looking at operations, maybe looking at everything. 13 years from now, as we speak, touch wood, we are one of the biggest companies in India in the digital space. We speak of high credibility in the market and work with the biggest names in India and outside India. We work with all the digital payment solutions, the online space, the offline space, the MPOS space, the point of space, the e-commerce space. I was lucky. I did a lot of hard work. I put my foot straight and I put my foot correctly. But what about those 88% of companies which collapsed? They probably collapsed because they did not set their foot correct. Execution was the issue. Execution was the problem. Even the latest statistics say that many startups, if you don't execute correctly, have to fall, have to be sold, or have to be closed over a period of time. So you setting your foot on startups is a fantastic step you have taken. But you executing it to perfection is the ultimate step you need to take. Starting is one thing, finishing is the other. When Sachin Tendulkar comes to bat, and Sachin Tendulkar comes to play in IPL, it is not how he starts, it is how he ends the game, which wins the match for Mumbai Indians. Starting is important, but what is most important is how you execute and how you close at the end. If you're in a startup, all the very best.
Excellent, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Rajesh?
Yes, sir.
Rajesh, a very nice session by you. It's a mind-blowing session and everybody is very happy.
Thank you
Now,
so much.
Professor Rajkumar Shikkeri, Associate Training and Placement Officer, is going to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and thank you to all the students also. Students, I think, before I wind up and before I close, students, remember that you are a part of an organization. You are a part of a training and placement cell. You are going to be a part of an alumni, which are the best in the world. Believe me, which are the best in the world. When I go speak amongst CEOs, CXOs, CTOs, and when they ask me, where do I come from? The first thing which comes to mind, as I told you earlier, is TKIT. So if you walk with that TKIT on your chest, and if you walk with pride, it is going to take you far, far, far. And for that, sirs, your principal sir, Patil sir, Bhagnesh sir, all sirs there, your blessings are required for all the students as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Shike Rajkumar, please continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, dear all participants. I, Professor Rajkumar Shikeri, Associate Training and Placement Officer, hereby delighted to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank
Camera on
Rajesh,
kar.
Rajesh Desai sir, uh, Rajesh Desai sir, CEO and MD, Lyra Network India, a multifaceted, successful engineer, entrepreneur, orator, motivator, and above all, he is one of the gem of TKIET. I thank Sir for accepting invitation and for gracing this webinar as a speaker. Thank you, sir. And
Thank you
I
so much.
thank
Thank you so much.
our I thank our Chief Patron, Honorable Dr. Vinay Ramji Kore, MLA, Maharashtra State Chairman, Shri Varna Vibhag Shikshan Mandal, Varnanagar. I thank our Administrative Officer, Dr. Vasanti Rasam Madam. I extend my thanks to our beloved Principal, Dr. S.V. Adekar Sir, and our dynamic Training and Placement Officer, Professor P. Patil Sir, for arranging such a nice webinar. I thank our institute network and engineering team head NB Zadav sir and the webinar team and HOD CSE Professor AG Patil sir, MS Bhusle sir and all the webinar team who have successfully contributed their efforts in arranging and conducting this webinar. Last but not the least, I thank our future engineers and target audience, student friends who have attended this webinar in large number. And also I would like to thank our dynamic team of training and placement cell. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
So
very
much.
much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Sir, a small announcement to all participants. Hold for a minute. Small announcement for all participants. Hold for a minute. I request all of the students to give your valuable feedback for the webinar being hosted, and after that you'll be getting your e-certificate over your registered email ID. Thank you one and all.
Okay, thank you everyone. Submit your feedback on TKT website. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Session is now over.